Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is January 16th, 2025, and Barcelona have officially announced the sale of the rights to the VIP seats in a statement that they released on their website. Also, it's not completely over with Ronald Araujo, as the club have a pending meeting with his agents. And finally, Aston Villa are still very much interested in Oscar Mingueza. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and we will begin this video by discussing FC Barcelona's statement that they finally released in regards to the sale of the rights of the VIP seats, which helped Barcelona secure the 1-1, and where Barcelona will hopefully be able to use to register Daniel Olmo and Pau Victor if they do win their pending lawsuit in front of the CSD. Now, this is the statement that Barcelona released today on their website, stating the sales model for these VIP seats, personal seat license or PSL, represents a change in approach to how hospitality product sales are managed and is more in line with trends already implemented by other sporting organizations worldwide, particularly in the United States of America. For FC Barcelona, the operation means the creation of a new intangible asset based on this new business model, whereby investors purchase a VIP seat, after which they can either sell or use it for themselves. This means any risk to the club during the sales process for these types of seats is reduced, as income is guaranteed for the entire period of the sale, and the investors pay A, upfront for the license to use the seat throughout the duration of the contract, and B, or 2, for the price of the VIP seats per season. The club has concluded operations of 475 seats for a maximum of 30 years with 2 different investors from the Middle East, a region where these types of products are highly sought after. At the investors' request, these operations contain confidentiality clauses that aim to preserve the investors group's competitive advantage in the hospitality and VIP product sector. This approach was also adopted with other clubs' financial operations, such as the funding for Espai Barca. Both sets of investor groups were subject to a mandatory review beforehand, with both receiving positive reports from the club's compliance department on economic and commissions. So Barcelona announcing that they have sold the rights to 475 seats for a period of 30 years. So now it's not 20 years, it's 30 years, and they're still not telling us who the investors are. And I discussed this in the video I made about Victor Font's press conference, which is, I don't want to say concerning, but transparency is something that this board promised us, and we haven't been getting much of it. Now, the way Barcelona explained this deal is that they're selling the rights to the seat, not the seat itself, which means if a seat, let's say costs $100 to go watch a match in that seat, obviously now it's a lot more expensive, Barcelona would get the $100, and then the investor could do whatever they want with that seat. They can sit in it themselves and watch the match. They can have their, cousin go and watch the match, or maybe they can sell it to the public for $200, and then they make profit, Barcelona makes profit. So that's kind of how the model of this business is, which Barcelona says it's based on how many companies operate in the United States. I think he's referring to basketball and American football, because if I'm not mistaken, NFL and NBA do that, or NFL and NBA teams do that in their stadiums. Anyways, let's move on to the next bit of news, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's not over with Ronald Araujo, because Barcelona have a pending meeting with his agent. Now, Barcelona's stance in regards to Ronald Araujo has always been the same. They consider him an incredibly important player, cornerstone of Barcelona's project. I don't want to say a Flick's project, of Barcelona's project, because he was also very important for Xavi Hernandez. And of course, Barcelona want Ronald Araujo to stay for many years, but unfortunately, with Íñigo Martínez and Pau Cubarsí cementing themselves as the 2 starters, or I should say fortunately, because they have been amazing, and with so much rumors of Barcelona going to sign Jonathan Tah in the summer, Ronald Araujo decided to consider his position as staying in Barcelona, and as such began negotiations with Juventus, with the player informing the club through his agents that he wanted to leave and wanted to leave during this winter transfer market. Now, John Laporta had a meeting planned with Araujo because he wanted to hear from the player himself that he wanted to leave. But with the injury of Íñigo Martínez, Deco acted swiftly and quickly and met with the player before John Laporta could meet with him. And as I reported in a previous video, Deco was able to convince Ronald Araujo to stay by, of course, letting him know how important he is to the club, how important he is to the locker room, and telling him, if you want to leave, at least wait until the summer transfer market because you're going to have more offers, better offers, more clubs interested in you. So he was like, just stay, man. We want you. The locker room wants you. But if you don't want to stay, at least stay until the summer, right? And for now, it looks like Ronald Araujo has agreed. He will be staying until the end of the season. But of course, Barcelona want to keep him longer. But it's all going to depend on the pending meeting with the players' agents. Now, Barcelona will meet with Araujo's agents to try to extend the contract of the player for at least 5 more years, where they promise to increase the salary of the player in order to match his status within the locker room as a Barcelona captain, as an incredibly talented defender, one of the best in Europe. And in exchange, Ronald Araujo and his agents want a reduction in the release clause, because currently Ronald Araujo has a €1 billion release clause, so they want a reduction of that in case Araujo decides to leave in the future. You know, he has that exit door available to him. So we'll see what comes out of this meeting, how much his Araujo's entourage want in salary, and how much versus how much Barcelona can offer, and how low the release clause that Araujo's entourage want versus how low the release clause that Barcelona are willing to go to. So for now, Araujo's safe until the summer. We'll see whether he'll stay past that, all depending on the meeting with his agents. Now, speaking of defenders, we will end today's video with the news that Aston Villa are still seriously interested in Oscar Mingueza. And in fact, their sporting director, Monchi, has already advanced the negotiations with the player because Unai Emery is very eager to have Oscar Mingueza on his staff. And of course, Oscar Mingueza has a €20 million release clause. And Aston Villa are so interested that they're willing to pay that entire release clause cash up front. And of course, this concerns Barcelona because Barcelona do own 50% of the rights of the player. So if Aston Villa do activate their release clause, pay the $20 million, Barcelona would get $10 million, which given the club's situation, it's a big boost. And of course, if Barcelona want to bring Marcus Rashford, as I reported in a previous video, that could also be used to bring the English attacker on loan until the end of the season. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I uploaded 2 videos before this one, so make sure to check them out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Mingueza.